Hello, everyone. Welcome to BadgerBeat.com. Rob Hernandez alongside Tom Oates. It's time to get Oates' grades from the Badgers' loss here at Northwestern. And Oates, we start first with the offense. And folks, I'm gonna warn you, the grade is not pretty. However, there is one person in the class that probably deserves to be promoted to the next level. So all that said, Oates, a D for the offense, Melvin Gordon notwithstanding.
Yeah, you have to credit Melvin Gordon. 259 yards, the best game, highest total of his career. Guy's running with a fury. I mean, and he's just playing great. You have to credit the offensive line and the other blockers for getting him loose and giving him the holes to do that.
Yep.
But the total dysfunctional nature of the offense forced the grade way down because the passing game has been an issue all year, and it really came to a head today. They tried two quarterbacks and they never really got anything going with any consistency in the passing game. That's why the grade's so low. Nothing with Melvin Gordon. Melvin Gordon got an A today, okay? But that shows you
how bad the rest was.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, Oates, the defense, a C- today. Obviously, Northwestern, especially in the first three quarters, was able to gash that defense pretty well.
Yeah, Northwestern always does that down here. There's a long history of that offense gashing Wisconsin's defense. I think if you had told Wisconsin beforehand you're going to hold Northwestern to 20 points,
yep,
they would have said, "Fine, we'll take it," and because they haven't been able to do that that often down here since actually both programs became competitive about 20 years ago. Yes, Wisconsin gave up a lot of yards. I thought they were better in the second half. The Badgers were better in the second half than they were in the first half. Took away some things, caused Northwestern's quarterback to get a little inaccurate at times, and I thought did a better job. Kept Wisconsin in the game. Northwestern had a lot of yards, but had difficulty getting into the end zone. For all their yards, only had 2 touchdowns. So I don't think the defensive effort was awful, but the defense was on the field a lot, and that's the defense's fault, not just the offense's fault.
All right, and let's see your special teams grade. I believe maybe your first F of the year.
Just nothing good. Their starting field position. How many times did they start inside the 10? I don't have it right off the top of my head, but I say 3 or 4, maybe 5 times they started inside the 10. Drew Meyer's just not punting well this year. I don't know what the problem is. If there's an injury, at one point he limped off the field a couple games ago, but he's just not the same punter he has been. I think throughout most of his career he's been a real solid punter, but the return game isn't giving them much. The offense's inability to stop to get a 3 and out, that always hurts the field position game. There were some bad penalties on special teams, some dumb penalties on special teams, and all that conspired to just the Badgers just lost the field position battle. And remember that for the last 20-plus years, this is a team that considered that hidden yardage to be a big factor in why it won football games. And right now, and today, that just didn't happen. In fact, the opposite happened. Northwestern won. Northwestern was the one that was getting all that hidden yardage, and that really comes out in the end. It's very important.
All right, Oates, not much better in the grade department for the coaching today, a D. Where in particular do you feel the Badgers fell short in preparing the team to play well here at Ryan Field?
Well, I don't know that they, it was that bad. I mean, everybody thinks it's, the coach's fault that they can't move the football. And, did they put the players in the best positions? I'm not sure. I thought on defense, for instance, Dave Aranda was almost forced to play a nickel defense. Mm-hmm. Well, Northwestern then ran the ball. How do it looked like Northwestern was a step ahead of Wisconsin all the time. But what do you do if you Northwestern has the ability to do both of those things, to run and throw, and sometimes you have to pick your poison. But I didn't think the Badgers were sharp defensively or on their, had a great game plan or anything like that. As far as the offense, it's curious to me, and it continues to be curious to me. If Tanner McAvoy is your quarterback, why don't you run more option? Why don't you run that read option, run that sprint option? Call some quarterback draws. Do things to play to his strengths, and instead it looked like, and this is where I would really grade them down, is it looked like in the first half that they're just trying to make this guy into a pocket passer. And you know what? That's not his strength.
Not going to work.
And if they're going to continue to use Tanner McAvoy in the future, they have to start playing to his strengths more.
Oatesy, overall, a D today, going into a get-well game next week against Illinois, maybe.
Very winnable game this week. They're going to kick themselves over this loss. If it comes down in the end and they're still in contention, if this was maybe a one-game deal and they win a few games here and get back into contention and get into November against the tougher games in the West Division, they're going to kick themselves over this game because they should have won this game. They had more talent on the field than Northwestern. The quarterback position just continues to hold this team back. I think it also surfaced today that the wide receiver position is holding this team back, and unless they can get some kind of a viable passing attack going, they're just not that good of a team, and I think that's what showed here today.
All right, there you go. Oates's grades from the Badgers' loss here at Northwestern. For Tom Oates, I'm Rob Hernandez. Thanks for watching Badger Beat. We'll grade the Badgers again next week back home at Camp Randall against Illinois.